For this next step, we're gonna use a gun. We're gonna calibrate the gun with a system. You need to check that the gun is empty. Cannot stress this. You need to check it before and after you use it in the simulator to make sure there is nothing left in the barrel. Doing that, this is such high accuracy system. If you do this, the calibration will be off. Meaning, make sure it's secure and don't touch it. If you accidentally push it a little bit or something, you need to redo the calibration. That's how high accuracy there is, and that's why. When it comes to calibrating, there is 2 tips. First of all, if you're shooting with a totally flat rib, meaning my eye is actually on so I can not see the rib at all, there is very, very hard. Even national shooters have a trouble calibrating, because when you do an aim and don't have any reference, it's very easy to push the gun, even if they hit when the shooting clears later on. When you do it by hand like that, it's very easy to do a bad calibration. So what I do suggest to them is look like you do normally, and then aim, raise a little bit on the eye so you just see, don't move the gun, but raise so you see the barrel and make sure it's straight, and then press the calibration or aim and shoot. What you need to do is on your shooter, press calibrate, and then you get the cross. It should be in eye height at ready level or thereabout. This is my demonstration screen. It's lower. You should have cover the cross with the bead, so you should get a picture like this, where you have the barrel bead ending on the center. You should not float the cross over if you have if your gun shooting high. Don't think about that. Put the bead on top of that cross. Tip number 2: if you're shooting on longer ranges, if you're shooting skeet, it really don't matter if it's a few centimeters off. But if you're shooting on longer ranges like Olympic trap, second shot, it's up towards 50 meters. Even a slight change will affect it very greatly on longer distance. Just like if you're calibrating a scope on a hunting rifle, you don't shoot freehand on that range. Well, I suggest actually using a stand. There is no, it's much easier doing like this and then shoot. So you get a good hit instead. Now I'm gonna test, actually I got some interference here. I'm gonna put the stand here. Let's do a calibrate. Now, since this is too low and it's just a demonstration, I can do it from here and shoot 3 times. 1, 2, 3. In this little box, you get data values. It says green. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that the calibration is actually good. It means that I aimed quite center. Meaning, if this is yellow or red and you aimed at the center, the laser is not straight in the barrel. Yellow could be okay, but if you're in the red, try and move the laser and shoot again. Because what happens is, if the gun is pointing here and the laser point is down here, I have no trouble calibrating that in the system. But the problem is, when you accidentally move the gun a little bit sideways, that point is going to move over here, and then it's a miss, definitely a miss. So getting values close or below 5 makes the experience much better, because then you have tolerances to actually tilt the gun a little bit and it will not affect the system that much. So in this case we can test, shoot, and see if we hit on the spot where we aimed. This will shoot. If you aim at the center and in the configuration has set that your gun is shooting 10 centimeters high, the crosses will be above. It will account for that increase on the hit POI that you have in reality. If you need to recalibrate, shoot here. It's a quick way, instead of going through the menus, shoot here to recalibrate the gun. And when this is complete, we can actually start shooting. We're done.